'cause I wanted to confess it now. Can I make the time for me to come and get it blessed amount? She spoke to me in such a simple and decisive tone. Her sweet admission left me feeling in position. I don't take these things so personal anymore, anymore. I don't think it's irreversible anymore. Somebody hooted and they hollered, can I buy a vow? Don't let her catch you in the act of
Welcome to another episode of Monday Night Art Class. Monday Night Art Class on Tuesdays.
Monday somewhere.
Broadcasting live from the Harlem HART HOUSE. Dun, 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 dun. What you doing, Emery?
Get wild, man. Get wild.
Some oil paint. Oh yeah. El óleo.
El aceite.
All right, Don Diego.
Hey.
Shit. Broadcasting live. Oye, compositor.
No, apenas estoy tocando. Espérame.
That's just Blake farting in the corner.
Okay. Use this with some water. Try. Try me. Well, I'm gonna let this set up for a bit, and the real magic begins. Mm-hmm. No sé.
La pizza es con la mía. ¿Qué pasa con la mía, güey? ¿Qué te había dado? La de tu, güey. ¿Quedó aquí?
No, se quedó allá arriba.
You have a pallet in here, we'll get it, dude.
Try me. Try me. Try me.
You know where I got this bag from? Alex Seal. This is an Alex Seal bag. I think he might have even gave it to me.
Maybe.
I can't guarantee.
Maybe you stole it.
Sorry, Al. This is the greatest piece I've ever done.
He calls it redunculum. Redunculum is a magnification of his.
Take a look at his oil paintings. Okay, okay, my man. Okay. Fucking good.
And covers that thing.
That's cool though.
¿Cómo se llama la pieza?
No tiene nombre.
No tiene nombre. Untitled.
Untitled. Untitled.
Works in
So
oil.
like you're covering the face. That face is gone. I don't even know about that. Oh, here we are. Once again. We call this the philosophy ridge. If you sit up on this ridge, you must talk philosophy. You got your mic hooked up?
No, I left it.
You better come closer to that thing then. You can probably put it right down there and we'll get like the worm's eye view of us talking.
We're hot now.
You can hear though?
Could you hear?
Where am I? I washed this shirt in the bathtub today. That's what thugs do. Oh, okay, G. Okay. Okay. Now the only thing that you really need now is a backlight. Everything's in a 3-part lighting system.
Yeah.
A floodlight, a spotlight, a floodlight, and a backlight. Like that there would be our spotlight. Technically a little ring over there would be our floodlight. We had just one light from behind us, which we got light bouncing off the wall, so we can technically get away with that being our backlight. Sometimes I just think I can fly. I jump off that roof.
Sometimes I think I can fly.
I should just jump off the roof and fly away. Does this thing come up a little more? Frame it a little bit.
Hold on, hold on. Working on it.
Right there. Yeah, it's the same damn thing. Try me. Here's a rock that might work, G. Hey G, hey G. G, 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 G.
Perfect, right?
Oh man, we are on blast now, bro.
Alright, we're not ready to go live with this one yet. But this one I edit, so this is the. Alright,
Are
Catuglo.
we recording on this one though?
Yeah, we've been
We're
recording.
talking about this one here.
No. Alright, taking a break. Commercial break, guys. We'll be right back. Hey, who's that?
Shit.
Ain't
You
no-
almost need to sit right here. Right?
We're hot.
Are we hot in the trot? Are we live hot or
Yeah.
are we recording
We're
hot?
recording.
Okay, but we're not live, we're recording. This is the editable stuff.
Not a lot of editable stuff, but yes. This one's not editable. This one's going raw.
Damn. So I gotta be careful what I say.
Well, just
I never used to have to censor my shit around you, but now I do. But it's actually pretty good though. Sometimes I get stupid and outlandish and sound ignorant. But no more. Today is a different day. Nice. So let's scoot over one step.
yeah. Boom.
Move this light closer.
telos.
Chula.
Ay, chuchuri.
Ground to be setting that on there. Why don't you put it on the ground? Look up like this one here is.
Because I want to get it like this.
I bet if we just brought this big.
All right, we're hot.
It's a little dim, a little dark. I want to bring that light in a little
How
closer.
you know what's what? You don't know anything.
A little dim. You know dim? Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. Now we're kicking. So what were we talking about last time, our last segment? We were talking about the power of projection energy. Quantum physics terms, you'd call it the power of observation. The vernacular term would be paying attention. If you want to delve into what some would call religious, you would say the power of prayer. Scalar waves, back to science. The power of projecting energy and basically creating your own, sort of creating your own destiny within the parameters of your uncontrollable destiny.
Well, I believe that because of we have free will, then therefore that automatically nullifies destiny.
Yeah, but you have free will within a preordained pattern.
And then it wouldn't be free will.
That's the great. Do we have a choice or not? This is really the great argument. Is every choice you made, if predestiny exists, every choice you made is theoretically already been known about. There's nothing you can do because God knows everything. So everything's according to some sort of plan. So then free will doesn't really exist. But
Just because he knows everything doesn't mean he wills everything.
so therefore, but I do believe that the outcome is essentially the same as far as frequency goes, as far as just pure energy flow, like magnetic tide. It's going to end up being the same divine geometrical formation every single time in this dimension that we perceive in with our five senses. So no matter what, you're going to live and you're going to die. Let's start right there. And this body, at least, is going to know a timeline. It's going to know a beginning and an end, a birth and a death. So we're basing everything off of this birth and death in relation to the five senses. Now we've given ourselves the framework, and that is our destiny. We are destined to be born and die. That's almost obvious. Everybody who I've ever known is getting older every second. We're getting older as we're talking right now. So we have this perceived timeline of life and death, which can be questionable in relation to the holographic universe and so on and so forth. But we're going to simplify and say, okay, we have a life, we have a birth, we have a death, we have five senses which we perceive things in. We were talking about this earlier today. So where does your free will fit into this already preordained life and death? Okay, well now I have a choice of how far I can push the frequencies, how far I can push my energy and have a cause and effect on the universe around me, which is me setting up many, many signs. How far can I push my light or signs where people can see them and be influenced by them? Because again, you can't really control another's free will. You can only use the power of suggestion to open up pathways, portals, and doorways for a person to walk through on their own free will.
So let's touch back to one of the subjects that we. So do you think that touching back on what I said about free will nullifies destiny theory?
Mm-hmm.
So where are we? Where's your definite answer?
I'm
in
saying
regards to that?
free will does not nullify destiny. It's free will within a pattern.
Okay,
So you do have
so
free will.
You disagree with me.
Well, I only half disagree with you. I'm not saying, well, free will doesn't exist. That would be disagreeing. What I'm saying is free will exists, but it's within the framework of a pattern. You have the ability to consume a whole bunch of the energy's pattern, but other living things will not be able to have that same consumption power. It won't be available to them in this dimension in which we're perceiving it. Now, if we can open up all the minds around us with this inspirational energy, then everybody can truly have free will. But inside the psychological cage, which we touched on last episode, please watch that and catch up to the downfalls and pitfalls of the psychological cage, the Sigmund Freud trap. Past that is true free will. But past that, you're not governed by the rules of this dimension. In this dimension, I jump off that building, I fall and I hit the ground. Everything's very black and white, and it's only the five senses that are being appealed to.
So my earlier point was there cannot be a bifurcation between the body and what the conscience can do. Like the mind is infinite in the ether, within the mind only though, because there is a finite
Right.
combination, combination of matter and our biomatter.
Okay, there is a finite combination of matter and biomatter within us, basically, is what you're saying. Yes, because that's what we believe and that's what we perceive as a whole. That's part of the psychological cage that we have to get out of together, and only together.
Well, who was it that wrote, "Oh, what a tangled web we weave"? The tangled web is how does one exist out of body without abandoning the house, which is
You don't abandon the
body.
house because if you want to explain it in terms of science, entangled particles, they are always connected no matter how far distance they go apart from each other. They are always completely connected and interworking.
Yeah, but like in the black hole theory, once your matter gets split and it becomes dispersed, it cannot be re-magnified. It just changes into form.
So you don't send your matter through the black hole. You only send your conscious, free-moving energy through the black hole. You don't send your actual physical body that's grounded here on Earth.
So you're seeing you using black holes as ethereal wormholes to send thoughts through to the next dimension to communicate yourself with your altered body.
It could be thoughts, yes, that's what I'm saying. But it doesn't not restricted to only sending thoughts through. Thought is like
body. You're gonna send a body.
No, I'm saying we're not sending
the
matter
black hole?
through, but it's not. It almost limits the idea of what can go through by calling it just a thought. I mean, it almost expands it. It depends who you're talking to, but I don't like the term using just sending a single thought through, because what is a thought to begin with?
Manifestation is a wrinkle in the string theory. It's a chord struck in the string theory.
A vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a thought is a vibration, a harmonic vibration.
Yeah. That is bioluminescence.
I can dig that. Sonoluminescence. It's a vibration creating the universe around us.
Feel the vibration.
That Marky Mark song, isn't it?
Feel vibration. Feel the vibration. Is it Marky Mark?
That's the fun. Marky Mark the Funky Bones.
Really?
Right?
Oh man, that's Jason Bourne.
And he starts rapping and shit. That's Marky Mark.
Oh
That's
really?
Marky
Oh
Mark the
man,
Funky
I
Bones.
just
That's,
quoted Marky Mark. Gill me.
He really came up in the acting world. All right, good for him.
Yeah, Jason Bourne.
No, that's the other guy.
Oh really? Oh, I got him
Same,
confused.
right?
They don't look alike. So, all the Wahlbergs look alike. So, to touch base, where I stand so far in the conversation is that free will nullifies destiny, and there cannot be a bifurcation of the mind and the body.
Well, that's a very
No divergence.
limiting thought.
No divergence.
That is a very limiting thought. But why are you even considering a divergence anyhow? Expanding your consciousness to go freely through the universe while grounded to your body. That's not limiting. That's actually maximizing your human body. That's what your human body is supposed to be doing. That's why all other God's creatures on this planet are doing just that.
No,
Living in
because-
harmony with their environment while their
you
spirit
can-
is free.
You can remote view. You can remote view your mind, but your body's doing your yoga postures.
So it's
when you're
so you're
remote
not
viewing.
so it's not really bifurcating then. You're there in both places at all times. You become infinite instead of being very singular. Instead of being like locked in a little cage.
The difference between remote viewing is at the end of the day, you always have to come back to the house.
Well, you know, you don't know that. You don't really know that. That might not be the truth. Like, who says that?
Because
Oh, a couple people who wrote a couple books about astral projection might have said something like that, but that doesn't make it what it is. In fact, we're constantly moving through the universe at all times. We're just psychologically blocking ourselves from realizing it. We're already there. We just are not making the conscious connection with our bodies. Our bodies are these great tools that are gifted to us to project this amazing energy within us of light and, you know, the great balance of negative and positive harmonious movement. It's within us. And then we've been gifted these bodies to ground that energy like electricity, free our consciousness, and truly expand ourselves through the universe and realize it and bring it into a conscious awareness and be able then to have the power to manifest beautiful things upon this earth. And that's not the end game. That's not the goal. It's just a byproduct of freeing the consciousness.
well, I'm just saying the consciousness can never be completely free because at the end of the day, it has to take what the house is doing into consideration.
But why does that make it not free? Because you have to have responsibility. That's not, as soon as the very second you have a sort of responsibility, you're no longer free.
Well, you're responsible to staying alive. You gotta feed yourself, clothe yourself, and live within the architecture, and navigate through society reading the street signs. So, therefore, you could only do a certain amount of free dreaming before you have to come back and interact on a mathematical equation.
Well, unless you can do both at the same time at all times, which I believe you can, and that's the power of the human mind, body, spirit,
Listen,
soul
if
together.
you're driving down the highway, your mind takes off to like astral project past the Kuiper Belt onto Sirius B. You know, like you're not paying attention to the road. Guess what's gonna happen?
Your mind's already in Sirius B by the time you're consciously even driving the car. Like, our mind is so powerful, we can do all logistical things in this dimension even better than we're doing with our not realizing our conscious self. By realizing our conscious self, our actions here on Earth will be 10 times smoother, more efficient, and harmonious than they are now. You would probably never even get in a car and drive a car because you'd be disgusted by the prospect of it if your consciousness was free. You know? But yeah, let's get back to reality in which we exist. And, people are dying all around us in war, famine, and hunger brought by banking establishments
And
crashing the world down. And where does your astral projection and freeing your consciousness fit into the grand scheme of that? Well, the answer is, if we can free our consciousness, we can have the power to help all these people on this planet as well. Whereas we're being limited now because we're all subjected to the psychological cage and the distractions of society that we're not able to tap into our energy that we already possess within ourselves. All we have to do is realize it. And as soon as you realize it and observe it, you manifest it into reality.
I mean, like, what if my dream is to be the first human to ever travel from one universe to another.
Okay. It's a good dream.
So my mind just went there. But what does my reality of my body say?
But your mind leaving to go to the
But no, but like, okay, I decided I want to be the greatest, first ever human to travel outside of the Kuiper Belt past Beetlejuice up to Sirius B.
Well, then I'd probably tell them it's already been done a few times. But feel free. Feel free. And please tell me what you find on your journey.
Who do you know has done it?
Case from the Bronx. He's one of the only people I actually know who's done it.
Okay, Case. I believe, yeah, that's true.
Because he had so much time by himself. He told me that he was able to
Get there.
and that really inspired me when he told me that, and I tripled my practice more than ever. And I had 3 good experiences since then, where I've been very connected and soaring through the mountain, skies, universe, and basically you're only bound by your imagination, which is infinite and unquantifiable, which is why the lucid dreamer can topple the entire quantum machine anytime. because you're unpredictable. The quantum machine can only predict things that have happened in a great computing method. And you might even be able to divide and slice up all these ideas of things that have happened to come up with seemingly new ideas, but it's not. And the quantum computer is not capable of these new ideas. Only the human mind is capable of projecting realities. And that is why this society has been created to project this reality so that certain people can stay empowered while trying to achieve immortality. Do I have proof of that? No.
Well,
But then again, the whole system is already proof. How much more proof do you need? Obviously something's going on. Even if it's just a bunch of greedy humans just trying to overpower themselves over somebody else, there's still a greedy vibration coming from somewhere that can be called evil. So we're here on a rooftop in Harlem at the HART HOUSE. Who started the HART HOUSE?
Christy.
Christy started the HART HOUSE. Good job, good job. And shout outs to the Brooklyn Artists Guild, 59 Jefferson. Alex Seal started that.
Well, yes.
Good things happen there. It almost seems like a long time ago. Very nostalgic. A lot of magic happened.
A beautiful studio.
Beautiful students. So much art. Awesome things were created. It's awesome to see people still carrying the torch.
You know, a lot of the people in there, they debated because a lot of the people feel that they didn't want to be, they wanted to be in the place, but they didn't want to be part of Brooklyn Artists Guild.
Right.
So they had like a whole little expression of their thoughts, and that's the beauty of it, the freedom to enjoy the knowledge and the instruction and the many abundant provisions without having to actually deem responsibility to the movement.
Yeah.
You know, that's the beauty of the place. Oh.
We're back.
And we're back.
Everything okay?
All right, we're gonna take a break, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Last time. Take 3.
So we're doing live drawing techniques. When drawing the body, make sure everything's in the scale to the head.
Okay.
And then that serves as your anchor for the armature. That you set your armature according to the scale of the head. Everything is in relation to that. This is combining contemporary expressionists with anatomy, life drawing, Renaissance techniques, and improv and performance art. That new age fusion of the many levels of consciousness and awareness that us enlightened enjoy. The music has always got to be the plus.
boxeo, deseo, trofeos, rapeo, sin prisa, sin pausa, sin causa, sin farsa, sin cero, sin pero, senderos, son fieros, son libros, niños, sexo, amor, amigos, enemigos, buenos, tratos, socios, pactos, años, sanos, sitios, suyos, buenos, ciudadanos, pisos, piedras, piedras, tierra, aire, nieve, lluvia, fuego, carros, bables, cables, rap, juego, respiro, retiro, consigo, vivo en sociedad, gran ciudad, sin piedad, soledad, ansiedad, libertad, oportunidad, encuentro, instructor, transgresor, vencedor, director, conductor, inventor, no hay mejor momento. Niños, viejos, padres, madres, ricos, pobres, hombres, hombres, seres, mujeres, mares, seres, secas, copas llenas, cielo, brindis, manos bellas, noches bellas, luces largas, juegas hasta el paso, los grandes almas son palabras.
I like to combine my Kung Fu, my Northern Shaolin techniques, with my delivery of my brush stroke. Therefore, I cultivate Qi as I paint. The more hours I paint doing this posture, the more Qi I cultivate. Therefore, my craft strengthens me. Therefore, as I age with my craft, it becomes my tool, my strength, and it feeds me daily strength for me to get my work done and my ideas achieved. This is the style of art therapy that I have developed called Bauhaus Pai or Bauhaus Bushido, which is a combination of Tai Chi, Kung Fu, and painting. This has been developed under my supervision of not just my painting instructor and my master, my father and my grandfather, also my Kung Fu master. Work in progress as usual. Now I'm introducing another color. Now that I have my white down, I'm gonna let it cool off a bit, let the humidity set. I like the viscosity that I have going on right now, so I'm gonna let it set for a minute, pull back, and then enjoy what it did. And I'm painting the nose. I'm gonna do my fill. I'm letting it set now. I have my foundation and now my fill. Layers 1 and 2.
I love how it looks really bad when you just start. Oh, wow.
Let's get some shadows. Shadows.
But I like that, like, stage.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and the progression.
Wow, you're going fast. He's like, oh yeah, I have no time.
Yeah. I gotta leave tomorrow.
So you're not from New York?
No, I'm not from New York.
What I mean,
I mean, I've lived in New York for a few years, but I live in Florida right now. And really, I just live on Earth because I got the sailboat. I'm just trying to sail around the world.
Cool.
That's my whole thing right now. Like, I've been dreaming about getting a sailboat for many, many years.
late tomorrow we need to move over because Christy not told me now another guest.
You guys had a sculpt. They're gonna credit.
You sculpt?
Yeah.
Nice.
I haven't been late. I've been making movies.
He's
lately.
sculpting charcoal.
Marble, alabaster.
No, actually, he's pretty good. His coaches are pretty good.
Definitely
So,
the best art that I
Don't
think
judge
I've
him by his paintings, judge him by his sculpting.
Look at my use of color. Prettier dull
Yeah,
palette with the
that's
same
really good.
pieces. Hey, Bianca, give me a high five on that. Thank you. See that?
Whatever,
Bianca
dude.
thought it was good.
Yeah, your yellows are dirty.
It's because he skis them out. You're bro-
Why would you?
It's good. Look. He didn't make me look bad. Good. I approve that.
You like it?
Yeah. Nail that.
Quick sketch.
Sí se ve bien. I don't look fat.
Yeah.
Big plus.
I'm complete.
Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. Quick life drawing sketch section. Emery here with the Ganesha. Quick, this is all within a half an hour. Quick throw ups. So, ladies and gentlemen, draw your anatomy daily. Eat your vegetables. Emery would say don't eat meat, but actually I can't disagree. But
Only eat fish.
I mean, I'm working there. I still need my meat, but eventually I'll get there.
One day.
A karma-free diet.
And smoke the greens. No, Bianca, wait. This is not wrong. When we are saying this is wrong.
Where's your attempt at art, Emery? Oh, there it is. On the floor, he puts it. There it is. Pew, pew, pew. And El Gato, known as Dali, Salvador Dali.